Ever wonder why some guys can say good morning and it barely gets a smile back, while others say it and she lights up like the sun just came out for her personally? It's not about being poetic or dropping lines, like you're auditioning for a romantic drama. It's about speaking from a place that actually touches her emotionally. Most men don't get this. They think good morning texts are just polite gestures, digital pleasantries. But here's the truth. The first message of the day sets the emotional tone. It tells her what kind of presence you are in her life. Are you another forgettable notification? Or are you the man who turns a simple message into something that lingers in her soul all day? See, most guys don't realize this, but the first message of the day is more than just a greeting. It's an emotional anchor. If you're boring, vague, or generic, she just files it away with every other hey or morning she gets from guys who don't really see her. But if you know how to phrase things just right, you bypass her logic, slip into her emotions, and anchor yourself in her thoughts before she even finishes her coffee. That's exactly what this video is about. I'm going to give you 6 good morning phrases that aren't just sweet, they're strategic. These phrases are rooted in emotional psychology and inspired by Stoic wisdom, which teaches us that intention matters more than impulse. When you apply that to dating, especially in the little things like morning texts, you suddenly stand out in a way she can't explain, but she feels it. And no, this isn't about manipulation or playing games. It's about speaking in a language that connects, one of clarity, calm masculinity, and emotional presence. What this video is about, each of these phrases is designed to do something specific. Some make her feel secure, some show you're paying attention, and some simply remind her that she matters, not in a dramatic way, but in a quiet, powerful, stoic way. You don't need to be over the top to be unforgettable. You just need to be intentional. So if you're ready to stop sending dry good morning texts that go nowhere and start saying things that actually move her heart and mind, you're in the right place. 1. I woke up thinking about you. Let's start with the first phrase, and it's a powerful one. I woke up thinking about you. Now don't underestimate the simplicity of that line. On the surface, it feels casual, almost like something you'd toss in without much thought. But psychologically, this one hits deep. It's a gentle way of saying, you were the first thought in my mind. And that speaks volumes to a woman's emotional brain. Here's why. The morning is when our minds are most impressionable. What we hear or feel early in the day has the power to shape our mood, our expectations, and our sense of self. So when she gets a message like that, she's not just receiving a compliment. She's receiving a mental imprint that she matters to you before the world even gets a piece of your attention. There's also a subtle nod to Stoic values here, especially the principle that what you choose to focus on is what you give meaning to. In a world of noise and constant distraction, directing your attention, especially your first thought of the day, toward one person is not just romantic, it's Stoic. You're saying, I control where my mind goes and it goes to you. That's emotional intimacy delivered with quiet masculine strength. And for guys worried about sounding clingy, don't be. This phrase isn't about dependence, it's about presence. There's a difference between being needy and being emotionally available. One is draining, the other is magnetic. Bonus variation. If you want to add a softer variation, something like, my first smile today was because of you, carries the same emotional depth, but with a slightly more poetic tone. This gives her an emotional mirror, a chance to see herself as someone who has a positive, lasting impact on your emotional world. Timing tips. This line is best used early in the connection when emotions are still forming, during long-distance relationships to bridge the gap, as a surprise message during a regular week. But it can also be a powerful reminder in a long-term relationship to keep the flame intentional. Use it sparingly and always mean it. Because when you say it with authenticity, you're not just sending a text, you're sending a message that she's not just a part of your day, she's the start of it. And that, my friend, is the difference between being just another guy and being the guy she can't stop thinking about. 2. I hope today brings you the peace you deserve. Let's move to the second phrase you need to have in your arsenal. I hope today brings you the peace you deserve. Now, this isn't just kind, it's calming. And that calm, it's rare, especially in a world where most women wake up to a mental battlefield, notifications buzzing, to-do lists multiplying, emotional responsibilities pulling at them from all angles. What you're offering here isn't a casual have a great day. It's something deeper, something sacred. You're recognizing, without her even saying it, that she might be carrying a weight, and instead of asking her to explain or pretending to fix it, you're doing something far more powerful. You're holding space. That subtle act is what makes you emotionally safe in her eyes. You're not demanding. You're not overreaching. You're simply saying, I see the storm and I wish you shelter. This phrase gently communicates that you understand peace is something she earns, not something handed to her. And by wishing it for her, you're aligning with her emotional reality in a way most men never even think about. Stoic insight, ataraxia. From a Stoic perspective, this taps into the ancient concept of ataraxia, a state of serene calm, an inner tranquility untouched by the chaos of the world. When you say something like, I hope today brings you the peace you deserve, you're not just tossing a feel-good message into her inbox. You're indirectly saying, I see that life can be hard, and I want you to have your calm anyway. That kind of emotional acknowledgement creates a powerful psychological bond because it tells her you're emotionally intelligent, even without saying those words directly. Why this works emotionally? Women don't just want attention, they crave emotional safety. And emotional safety doesn't mean rescuing her. It means you understand how to witness her world without invading it. This kind of message is especially effective on days when she's got something stressful coming up, she's emotionally distant or overwhelmed, or even on an ordinary day where she just seems tired. Even on a calm Tuesday morning, this message works like a mental exhale, a pause in the pressure that tells her, you don't have to perform for me. I'm here, and I want you to feel peace today. And that's more romantic than any pickup line could ever be. The Stoic masculine frame. This is where Stoicism meets true masculinity. Because a man rooted in Stoic values doesn't try to control the world. He learns to accept it and move through it with calm intention. And that's exactly what this phrase communicates. You're not trying to fix her day. You're not trying to coach her through the chaos. You're not even making it about you. You're being a quiet witness to her experience, offering peace from a grounded place. And believe me, in a world filled with noise, now that kind of masculine quiet is magnetic. Bonus enhancement, to make this line even more personal, you can add something like, whatever's ahead today, I hope you find stillness in it. You deserve that kind of peace. That variation takes the sentiment deeper, adding a note of presence, while maintaining the same emotionally safe tone. When to use it? After she shared something heavy the night before, when she's mentioned being tired or anxious, or even better, when she hasn't said anything at all. That's when this hits the hardest, because it shows you're intuitively in tune with her, even in silence. This phrase reminds her that you're not just thinking about her, you're feeling for her. It's presence without pressure, love without noise, and that is rare. 3. You make my mornings better just knowing you exist. Now let's talk about the third phrase. It hits a slightly different note, but it's equally powerful, maybe even more so, depending on how and when you use it. You make my mornings better just knowing you exist. This one carries a beautiful blend of lightness and depth. It works because it doesn't ask anything from her. She doesn't have to perform. She doesn't have to entertain you or text something poetic back. She doesn't have to do anything except exist. That's why it's so impactful. Why it hits differently. In a world where women constantly feel like they have to prove their worth, whether through looks, effort, or emotional labor, this line does something radical. It tells her, you don't need to impress me. You already matter just by being you. That's emotional freedom. That's how you disarm her defenses and let her feel safe, soft, and seen. Because it's not about what she gives you. It's about the space she holds in your life. Psychological impact. This message triggers something called unconditional positive regard. That's when someone feels accepted for who they are, without the pressure to change or earn that acceptance. And when you send this phrase, you're gently whispering to her subconscious, "You already make a difference even from afar. Just your presence in the world shifts my energy." And that's rare. That's unforgettable. The Stoic lens, gratitude without expectation. This phrase taps directly into the Stoic principle of gratitude, but not the kind that expects rewards. It's the kind of present moment awareness that recognizes the value of people, not because of what they do, but because of who they are. Stoic man practices contentment. He doesn't chase after more. He finds meaning in what already is. So when you say, "You make my mornings better," just knowing you exist, you're not trying to earn anything. You're simply acknowledging the truth of your own emotional state and sharing it with humility. Real talk. This is a powerful tool for breaking through her emotional walls, especially if she's feeling unseen or emotionally drained. She's used to surface-level compliments about looks or pictures. She's been conditioned to feel she must earn affection. When you say this, it's like telling her, "You don't need to perform here. I value you already." That message is rare in modern dating, and it's deeply attractive. When to use it? This phrase is especially effective in a few key scenarios. After a meaningful conversation, when she's opened up or shown vulnerability, as a random morning message sent without prompting. On a day when you want to reignite emotional connection without sounding intense. Why? Because it doesn't come across as needy. It feels grounded, real, masculine in the calmest sense of the word. Bonus upgrade. Want to deepen the effect? Try this expanded version. Even when we're not talking, just knowing you're out there. It makes the start of my day better. This variation adds more emotional color, more presence, and tells her, you're not just reacting to a moment, you're emotionally aware of the connection you share with her. What she feels. She'll reread that line, not once, not twice, but throughout the day, and every time she does, it will feel like a warm echo in her heart, one that reminds her she doesn't need to be perfect to be loved. That's how emotional intimacy is built, not with grand romantic gestures, but with tiny, intentional truths. And this phrase, it's one of those truths.